Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to go through and rate every single foundation on the Sephora app. Now, I used to work at Sephora and part of my job was color matching people to foundations at Sephora. So what better way to introduce myself to you than talking about some foundations. I have my iPad currently screen recording and I'm gonna go on the Sephora app. I'm gonna sync the audios up. So I already have foundations up on my app, but I'm gonna show my screen and essentially we are gonna go through these together. Now, House Labs, if you know me, you know, 10 out of 10. I have been wearing that for the past 3 days. I don't have it on today. I have actually a tinted moisturizer on today, but that's gonna be one of the very few that are in the 10 out of 10 category for me. Now, Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. A lot of people hate this. She's misunderstood. I originally hated it. I had the wrong shade. Now, NARS Light Reflecting, I am gonna give this an 8 out of 10. It's really good. It doesn't really wear well. That's my issue with it. I'm a full glam girly. This is a foundation that is meant to be worn on the face a little bit with your fingers applied, rubbed in. This is not a full glam foundation. That's why it creases when people use it. Huda Beauty Easy Blur, I have the wrong shade in it, so my opinion might be biased. I give this a 7.5 out of 10. Now, it's a beautiful foundation, but it's fine. Like, did we need this foundation? No. It's pretty. I mean, again, I don't know if I'm biased because I don't have my exact shade in it, but Huda Beauty Easy Blur, I'm gonna give that a 7.5. Or actually, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Liquid Foundation. Now, this is the matte one. This is not the luminous. The matte foundation, I'm gonna give a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 for coverage, for shades. It loses points for it being matte to the point of being pathological, like it's an issue, and it breaks up, it can be cakey, and it's just really dry. So that's how I feel about the Fenty Beauty matte foundation. Sephora collection, I'm gonna give that one a 5.5. Now, I feel similarly about that one to the Fenty matte foundation, except for I don't think it has the coverage. It does like kind of break up though and stuff. Again, maybe that's because I don't have a good shade match for me. Everything is either too pale or too pink or too yellow. So Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now, I've never tried Estee Lauder Double Wear, so I'm just gonna take a look at the ingredients really quickly because I'm not sure what would... pick a shade that would have pigments that are similar to what I would wear if it wants to load sometime in our lifetime. All right, I guess just no. All right. Yeah, this looks very thick. It's cyclopentasiloxane, trimethylsiloxysilicate. There's a dimethicone polymer in there, butylene glycol. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty pigmented and pretty thick, and it's full coverage. People really liked it. They would always come in and ask for it. I've just personally never tried it. I'm gonna give it smack dab just like a 6.5. It's gonna be probably a little bit better performing in terms of appearance wise for most people than the Fenty, but yeah, that's where I'm gonna put Double Wear. Armani, I do not like Armani. The only thing I like about the Armani is I like that it has good undertones, but other than that, I give Armani a 6.5. I think it's cakey. I think it bunches up. I think it doesn't have as much coverage as the Double Wear. I don't believe it too. I'm gonna pass. The Merit Stick, I'm gonna give it a 5. I do not like the shades. I do not like the formula. It like breaks off in like a chunk. I just don't really like Merit in general, so a 5. What did I say? A 5. Dior Backstage Face and Body, I'm gonna give that a 7.5. Pretty solid formula. I've never tried it, but I know a lot of people really like it. It's really, really good value. I don't know why the Flawless Finish Setting Powder is in here, so I'm not rating that. I don't know why the Tower 28 Concealer is in here. I'm not rating that. NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Full Coverage Foundation, I'm gonna give it a 7. It can look cakey. It's a full coverage product, but it is, again, something that is meant to look natural, and you're supposed to apply it with your fingers. That's how all of the NARS complexion products are. Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. Beautiful product. Absolutely amazing product. So many people liked this. I would always recommend it and they'd always splurge and buy it because it was just that appealing. It looked that good. Yes. So absolutely yes, yes, yes. Hourglass Skin Tint, that gets a 9 out of 10 from me. LYS Blurring Skin Tint. I've never tried this. I've never tried it on the back of my hand. It's new, so I don't feel like it's fair for me to rate that. I'm not rating mini Hollywood Flawless Filter. Makeup by Mario, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I like it. I'm biased. I have to mix 2 shades to get my shade, but I do like the Makeup by Mario foundation. It is thicker. It's good for if I have like a breakout and I'm trying to cover up like texture. I know some people don't like this foundation though for that reason, so I understand. I understand if you don't like it because it is a little bit heavier. However, I do like it for a full glam day. You could also go in with a little bit, but yeah. Dior Forever Skin Perfect, the stick. I know this one's very hit or miss, so I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's pretty solid. I like the undertones. I like the how emollient it is. However, I do think that's also its pitfall. I think that on some people it is just an oily, greasy mess. I think it would much better be applied just straight with a brush from the stick. But it is a really beautiful like product and it has a lot of coverage. The other Dior foundation is what gets the other 10 out of 10 from me. House Labs and Dior, those are my favorites. Just a sneak peek. Fenty Eavesdrop Skin Tint, that's gonna be pretty high for me. That's gonna get an 8.5. That's a really good product. It has a lot of coverage for a skin tint. It's blurring for a skin tint that's like not really seen, so it sits somewhere between a foundation and your normal tinted moisturizer. For that reason, it gets an 8.5. Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 5 out of 10 for me, honestly. I don't love this product. It's really greasy. It's almost just like a skincare serum. If you like that, I know that there's a market that likes that. It's just not for me. Personally, I give it a 5 out of 10. Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever Matte Powder Foundation. Low-key a hidden gem. I give this a 6.5 out of 10. I think that the shades could be improved upon. I think they do run kind of yellow, to the point where the cool shades are kind of orange. So that's where they could use some work, but I do think the powder is really nice, a really nice formula. Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Oil Controlling Foundation. I've never tried that and I've never swatched it. So, and I don't have any information. So customers never talked about it to me. So I don't have any information, consumer knowledge. So I'm going to skip that one. Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Hydrating Longwear Foundation. This I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10. This is beautiful. This is amazing. I think I think some shades could be a little better, like the neutrals do lean a little warm. The neutrals from Fenty are really beautiful. I love Fenty. I'm not shitting on Fenty neutrals, but that is why it gets an 8.5 out of 10 and not a 10 out of 10. Like the House Labs gets a 10 out of 10 because the shades to me are perfect. They're perfect. Like I took Christmas photos and you can't tell that I'm wearing foundation because it's a perfect match, so. Fenty, for me personally, as a pale girl, you get like 1.5 points off for that. But that formula is a lot better than the matte longwear formula. Than the matte soft lit, whatever it's called. Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. Honestly, this gets a 5 out of 10 for me. It's very mid, it's very yellow, it's very cakey. No. I hate the packaging. Too Faced Born This Way Natural Finish Longwear Liquid Foundation, 5.5. I know some girls that love it, some girls that can make it work. However, that's not most people. That is not most people. It's very thick, it's very heavy, it runs very yellow. That's how all of Too Faced is, I've found. It just runs really yellow. Their new stuff, I'm not sure about. Someone's gonna have to let me know about their new stuff in the comments down below, but I only know about them from the Born This Way line. I don't even have a shade in the concealer that works for me because they're all way too yellow. Say Slip Tint. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna give this a 5.5. I'm not a fan. It's very greasy and it's very thick feeling. The shade range is really nice. That's why I don't just like blast it and give it a 5 like the other one, but the one from Ilia, but yeah, I'm not a fan. The Charlotte Tilbury Sheer Glow Tint Stick. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. It's like the Flawless Filter, but I almost think the emolliency of the Flawless filter is what helps it look good. The stick is a little bit too dry for that, and I feel like it's meant for girls with oily skin, and if you have oily skin, you don't want that luminosity. So I don't really know who the stick is for. It's cute. I like it though. I'm not a hater of the stick. I have the stick. I'm actually waiting to finish up my Flawless filter so I can then use the stick, but that's how I feel about the stick. Pat McGrath Skin Fetish. I know that that is a favorite of a lot of people's. I'm gonna give that an 8. I think it's a very solid formula. I think it's very beautiful. I think it's very thin. It's very skin-like, solid. I personally have not tried it, but I've swatched it before. I've felt it. I've played with it. So I'm gonna give that an 8. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Longwear Foundation. I'm gonna give that a 5.5. Because that's like, have a little faith in me, or that's like if you want to be like a top, like a British girl, isn't it? Like if you want to be really, really orange and full coverage, you wear that foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. It's not a bad product. It's literally just the shade, and it's very thick. Like it's old school classic dimethicone foundation thick. Like, ooh, she's thick. Okay. Glowy Super Skin Tint Foundation from Say. It's literally just minerals and like skincare. It doesn't wear well on the skin. It's pretty and it's beautiful. If you have really pretty skin, this can look so nice. I'm gonna give it a 5 for that reason. Because it doesn't have any binders, film formers, anything to control the texture of it. It doesn't have anything to lay out and create a film once it's on the skin. It's literally just mineral and pigment, baby. You are raw dogging it. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint, that's gonna get a 9 for me. It's gonna lose a point for shade, and that's it, but it's literally so good. It's one of the products I've almost finished. I got this in gratis. I have the shade 3. It's like a color correcting shade on me, but it's kind of yellow. So that's why it loses a point for me. But this product, I've never really been complimented more while wearing a skin tint than I have when wearing this. Most complimented skin tint goes to the Yummy Skin Serums tint, but I wish that they had a shade that was in between 3 and 4, because 3 is very, very yellow and 4 is too deep. So, Born This Way concealer, well, I don't know why that's on there. Taint Idol. I don't love Taint Idol. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I don't love it. I know people like it. I know logically people like it, so that's why it's up there, but I don't like it. It just was like a mess on me. Like it fell apart, and I don't know why. I don't know what about the formula was just like a disaster the multiple times I tried to use it. I also didn't really have the right shade, but that's still not an excuse. Like the formula was falling apart. So Tower 28 Sunny Days SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen Foundation. This is what I have on right now. So for a tinted foundation sunscreen, this is pretty full coverage. I have a lot of acne going on right now and you can't tell. So, or maybe you could tell and you're just being nice, but we're also not judging the creases in my eyes. So that's what we're not doing in this video. But the tinted moisturizer, I lied. I'm gonna give it a 10. I like it. Sorry, guys. The only thing I'd say, probably at the end of the day, I need to touch up with some powder foundation, but like that's really good for a tinted moisturizer and for an SPF tinted moisturizer. And I feel like my skin always looks really hydrated and really quenched after I wash it off after like the day. So I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing the shade 15 Melrose. Yeah, I really like it. It's a really good product and it's really affordable, honestly, compared to everything else. That to me gets another 10. I lied. Sorry, guys. Armani Mini, no. Sephora favorites, no. Do not spend $8 for foundation samples. I guarantee you, if you go to your local store and you go in the back and ask, they're gonna have every foundation sample that they're selling you right here. Kosas Revealer Foundation, really bad. I'm gonna like give it a 3. Like it's really bad. I have nothing positive to say. Maybe the fact that it has sunscreen or that it's an olive undertone. Dior Forever Skin Glow. I already said this is gonna get a 10 from me. I just love the formula. It looks so skin-like. It's so beautiful. You're definitely getting your money's worth when you're buying this foundation. I like the Skin Glow formula a little bit less than I like the matte formula, but Skin Glow is gonna get a 10, matte's gonna get a 10. Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is a really solid formula. I hate the shade range. I'm giving it an 8.5. If it had a better shade range, it would be up there. It would be up there. It's beautiful. It looks beautiful, but it is a little thick. It's gonna be thicker, but It Cosmetics CC Cream. I don't know why it says new. I wonder if they reformulated it. It's very thick. I'm gonna give it an 8. It can be thick to the point of being uncomfortable, but it is a holy grail for many people because it contains SPF while also being a foundation. Water break. Oh my god, we're like not even done. I'm not gonna review all of them though because like it's not possible, and also some things are like repeated and some things are concealers. That's cheating if I review concealers. Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer, 5.5. It's better than the foundation, but it's still not great. The shades are a little better, but they're all yellow. So Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Foundation, personally haven't tried it, but I know a lot of people, it's a holy grail for a lot of people. It's a little thicker than this. This I gave it, what, an 8.5, a 9? So I'm gonna give this an 8. I'm gonna give the serum foundation an 8 because it's still really, really, really high performing, but it's just gonna be a little bit thicker than her other product that I really like. One Size Turn Up the Base, I haven't played with it. I don't have a, or actually I did swatch it. It's like really thick and kind of matte. I'm gonna give it like a 6.5. I don't know, I'm not a big fan, don't love it. Patrick Ta, I'm gonna give a 6. Again, it's beautiful on some people, just not most. It's not most people that it's beautiful on, baby. Lawless, I think that's new, I haven't seen that. I can't in good faith judge that. One Size Turn Up the Base Blurring Foundation. This was a holy grail for a lot of people. When it would go on sale, people would come in and they would sell out and buy all of their color. It's pretty good. It's kind of thick. It's kind of chonky dimethicone formula. I like the packaging, how it has that little like cap thing. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I think honestly it's better than like the Patrick Ta. Sue me, have the Patricks fight it out. I don't know. Makeup Forever Hydro Glow HD Skin. It's so pretty, but it just runs, the range is awful. So this is gonna be another 8.5. It could be a 10. It could, Makeup Forever, you could have a 10 out of 10. You could have a Sav does makeup 10 out of 10, okay? But you have to fix the shade range and the undertones. I feel the same way about the Urban Decay, actually. And it's not just because it was next, but the Urban Decay Face Bond, it has the opposite problem as the Makeup Forever, where the Makeup Forever runs really red. The Urban Decay runs really yellow. So let's fix that. Because I have a cool foundation from them and it's like really yellow. Really yellow. Like this is cool. This is cool. Summer Fridays Skin Tint. I know a lot of people like this. Not a huge fan personally, but I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because I know a lot of people really like it and it performs really well on a lot of people. Kosas Cloud Baked Setting Powder. Why the f is this here? I'm sorry. Hourglass Stick. Ooh, I do love me a good Hourglass Stick. I'm gonna give it a 9. It is thick. You have to use a little bit. A little goes a long way. They could improve upon the shade range. They could make it deeper. Hourglass, be more inclusive. But it did get me through a grade in high school because like I had really bad acne and that covered it. So it has a place in my heart. Okay, we're in Stick Foundation Valley. My next favorite under the Hourglass, if you want the everyday version of the Hourglass Stick, if you want something with less coverage, go for the Ilia. The Ilia is more natural. The Ilia is way easier to apply. It has less pigment. It's not gonna look as cakey. It's not gonna be as scary as the Hourglass, okay? Go with the Ilia. They're $1 different from each other. So just go with the Ilia if you're scared of the Hourglass. The CL Skin Tint, expensive but worth it. I'm gonna give it a 9. They could expand their shade range. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me. NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. That's a holy grail for a lot of people. It is too matte for some people, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because it's really solid. It's a really solid holy grail. Anastasia Beverly Hills Medium Coverage Natural Finish. That is a holy grail for people, but I don't know. It's just like not my holy grail. Like I didn't love it. It's a very solid 6.5. Like I would wear it if I had to. Like the shades are really nice, but the formula just is a little too emollient for me. Laura Mercier New Longwear Tinted Moisturizer. I've never tried that, so we're gonna skip. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. That's honestly a 10 out of 10 product. It honestly is a 10 out of 10 product. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. I hate the shades. I literally have like one of the lightest shades and it's yellow and dark on me, so I'm gonna give it like a 7.5, but it has potential. LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I saw this girl review it and it looked really good, but I've never personally tried it, so I can't review it. Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder Mineral Foundation. I'm not one of those Sephora employees that hates Bare Minerals. We didn't sell it at my location, to be fair, but Bare Minerals got me through the acneic years of my life. So I have to I have to give credit where credit's due. I may also be holding the torch out for them a little more than most people, but I do have that emotional attachment. A 7.5, because you're solid and you're nice and you have really good memories, but you're not forever. And your marketing, I don't know. KBD Good Apple, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. No, actually, I'm gonna give it a 7. It's kind of, she's chonky and thick. Makeup Forever, I'm gonna give that a 7. The Makeup Forever powder, I don't know. I don't love the powder. Like, I don't like the shade range. And I feel like it looks like it's sitting on my peach fuzz. I just don't love the Makeup Forever powder. I never have. I probably never will. Uh-oh, here's another 10 out of 10. No, I'm not talking about Glamzilla's Laura Mercier. I'm talking about Dior Forever Matte Foundation. So that is another 10 out of 10 formula in my opinion. The Dior Forever Matte Foundation with SPF 15. Now, the Laura Mercier foundation, that is a big fat 5. That is an awful formula. It's so cracky and greasy. Actually, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not greasy. It's very cracky. It's very, when you look at the ingredients, they dry very quickly, so it's going to evaporate very quickly. If you have very perfect skin, it'll look great. If you have any kind of texture, that's not gonna happen very evenly for you. Now will it? So yeah, the Laura Mercier foundation, it's a no from me. Rose Ink foundation, going out of stock. Who cares? Tarte Amazonian Clay Blurring Powder Foundation. It's Tarte, who cares? Just kidding. I'm gonna give that like a 5. There's 21 shades. Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation, actually a really good formula for if you have acne prone oily skin. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's kind of heavy and it's expensive. ABH Beauty Balm, I'm gonna give it like a 6.5. It doesn't have enough coverage for me and it's like a little bit too balmy. So Iconic London Skin Tint, I know a lot of people swear by that, so just based off of how much people love it and asked for it, I'm gonna give it a 7.5, but I've never personally tried it, but I do have consumer information on it. YSL All Hours, I've never tried it, never swatched it. Glossier Skin Tint, now this is controversial, a lot of people are gonna fight me for this, but I think the Glossier Skin Tint is a solid 8 out of 10. Hear me out. When my skin was perfect after I finished my Accutane course, I would just put on the Glossier Skin Tint and leave the house and it was perfect. I loved it. It was cute. She was cutesy. So it's like a perfect like grad school moment. Grad school moment. My skin's perfect and I'm in grad school. That's like what it's giving. Maybe I do have a bias because like I just gave that an 8 out of 10. And most people hate it because it doesn't do anything. But I think it does do something. You just have to try it on. If you know, you know. Prada Beauty, never tried it. Lancome, Teint Idol Ultra Wear. Don't love Teint Idol. Don't love Teint Idol. Never tried that formula though. I've never tried the Clinique. I've never tried that formula from Clinique, the Beyond Perfecting, but I've tried some of their other formulas, so I'll rate those ones. Sephora Skin Tint, honestly beautiful product. The shade range is a little weird, like the lighter shades, the undertones are a little wonky, but I give it an 8 out of 10. It's really pretty. Bosma foundation stick, it's really thick, it's really full coverage, shade range is immaculate, it's perfect. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Ilia True Skin medium coverage foundation, I don't love it, it runs really yellow. I'm gonna give it a 5.5. I'm sorry, it doesn't perform well either. It's like the Kosas where it's like really bad. Bare Minerals Perfecting powder foundation, 8.5. Used to use it, love it. Shade range could be better. Westman Atelier foundation stick, I know people really like it, but it's way too expensive, so for that reason I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Huda Beauty, I think she's discontinuing her other foundation, so I'm not gonna review that. NARS Tinted Moisturizer, I used to wear it. It's Orange City. Most of the shades we carried in store were expired, so I double check that. But for nostalgia purposes, I would go with a 6.5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. That's being generous. Clinique Even Better Makeup, that is also a very solid 6 out of 10. It's kind of orange. I don't know, like it's in that era of like orangey SPF. Ooh, my favorite, Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. Yes, 1,000,000% yes, 10 out of 10. Yes, so good. Actually, it's my favorite powder foundation, but I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10 because I know some people that don't like this. So I know it's not perfect. She does have haters. I understand my limits. Supergoop Protectant, I don't like it. It doesn't wear well under sunscreen or any other products. If you only wear SPF, you're gonna like it. But if you wanna wear anything else, you're not gonna like it. So That reason I give the SPF Protectant a 6 out of 10. Sorry. Westman Atelier Concealer, that's a concealer. Dr. Jart BB Cream. Why are there 6 shades? It's 2025. I can say that now, it's 2025. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because there's 6 shades. How about that? Sound fair? Glossier foundation, really good, surprisingly, 9 out of 10. Hear me out, hear me out. Shade range is low-key kind of good. The formula, low-key kind of good. It's like what the Makeup Forever Hydro Boost wanted to be. Let me just say that. We're almost to the end because we're getting into the range of things that are like discontinued. It Cosmetics Matte, Natural Matte CC Cream. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It doesn't get the same as the regular formula because it has a different shade range. Like it's just different. Usually when a foundation is the same, like the Dior, the Forever Glow and the Matte, you would want the shades to be the same between the two formulas. They're not the same. So Dior Cushion, not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. Patrick Ta Cream Foundation, no. I feel like that's like a 5 for me. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on. I'm not gonna get into it in this video. But Omicol, the Skin Enhancing Lightweight and Blurring Foundation Stick. I'm not sure if I even have my shade in this, but I think people like it. I've heard good things. I need to stop clicking on things on my iPad because it started to glitch again. Too Faced Born This Way Soft Matte Foundation. Let's pick up there. Off the bat, I'm a little scared of the undertones. A little bit scared of the undertones. BB Burst. I will include this just because it's like kind of popular. I don't like it. I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's really, I don't know, it's just like wet and like watery and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Now I'm getting down into the things I don't know. I do like the Fenty stick. I'm getting tired if you can't tell. I like the Fenty stick. I'm gonna give that a 7.5 out of 10. I do think that it can be a little bit greasy, but if you don't apply too much, it's fine. And then also if you have any texture on your skin, if you have any flakes or dry patches, you're gonna be able to see it. So La Mer is a joke. Tarte Amazonian Clay is a joke. The Good Apple Balm is really nice. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. That's really versatile. Armani, joke. I like the Fenty Skin Hydrovisor as well. I do like that. I'm gonna give that a 7.5 out of 10. Makeup Forever HD Skin Stick, I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. It's really solid. It's really thick though. You're better off with some other full coverage stuff. Nude Glow CC Cream, better than the other IT Cosmetics formulas. I like it. It's comparable to the Tower 28 in my opinion. I would give it an 8.5. It's up there. Guerlain Terracotta is a joke to me. Now we're like in the joke era. Hydromaniac is actually really nice from Urban Decay. That I'm gonna give that an 8. No, that's way too generous. I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10. One Size Powder Foundation, I actually really like that as well. I had one of the shades of this favorited. I don't think I'm logged into my account. I'm not logged into my account. I had Fair 3 favorited, but I do like that. It's my second favorite powder foundation. Second to the Fenty is the One Size in Sephora because my second of all time is the L'Oreal. But let's see. We're getting into the IDGAF category where I slowly give up because it's all the things that no one really cares about, but they're really niche, so definitely ask me if you want to know. And that is it. I plan on doing this for concealers and mascaras. Let me know other categories. I can also do eyeshadow palettes, I can do blushes, I can do anything. I worked at Sephora for a year and a half and I'm a materials scientist, so I have quite interesting thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Subscribe, follow for more.